On October the 4th, 2005, an armed suspect ran onto the campus at Franklin High School in Los Angeles. Due to the fast and appropriate response by the Los Angeles School Police Department and the well-trained action taken by the administrators and teachers of Franklin High, what could have been a deadly situation ended without harm and the arrest of the suspect. Hello, I'm Kent McCord. Many of you may know me from the hit television series Adam 12, but what you may not know is that I'm a reserve lieutenant for the Los Angeles School Police Department. The program you're about to see, along with the Safe School Plan provided to every school by the Office of Environmental Health and Safety, are guides for administrators, teachers, parents, and students, along with police agencies and personnel who need to respond when an emergency situation arises and a campus must be secured. For what's most important is the safety of our students and our staff.
What caused the lockdown is we had an off-campus person to come on campus. We had reports earlier in the day that there may be some gang activity in and around the community. So we were pretty much vigilant of the surroundings. We, sometime around 11 or 12 during that day, one of the assistant principals who was supervising on the west side of the campus called in for someone who was trespassing.
We were looking for any signs of trouble, and I spotted this student to be a known gang member on campus. Now, I knew he was not a student any longer at Franklin High School, so when I saw him, I asked him to leave. When he would not leave, I then radioed to the principal and to our school police unit, and they responded.
See the suspect standing across the street talking to the principal. I see him, he's walking down. I cross the street, he crosses back on this side of the street. I make contact with him. He's acting evasive. I attempt to search him when he starts running on me holding his waistband. So I immediately jumped in my patrol vehicle and went after him.
I was in my car and I heard the radio broadcast of the officers at the location putting out that they were in foot pursuit of a possible man with a gun. So I started responding to the location, which I'm familiar with because it happens to be in the area that I cover.
I also was on patrol when I heard a radio call that Officer Rios was in pursuit of a person with a gun. Sergeant Castañeda and I arrived approximately at the same time.
I go ahead and I'm following him. I'm chasing him northbound. He keeps running, ignoring the sirens. Suspect makes a left-hand turn this way. It's mid-block when I follow him down this way on Baltimore, westbound. Suspect continues running westbound on Baltimore Street when I'm following him. Suspect then makes a left-hand turn on Avenue 53 when I lose sight of him. As I make a turn, citizens are standing at the corner pointing that he's hiding underneath a truck which is parked right here. I park here, leave my vehicle, I immediately draw my weapon, order him to stand up with his hands up. So I draw my weapon, see him standing there, I order him to stand up. He kind of hesitates, gets up real slowly, sees me with my weapon drawn, and immediately runs back this way towards Baltimore and makes a quick right on Avenue 53. I'm a correction on Baltimore. I immediately jump in my car and go after him. At this point, suspect runs behind the house. Knowing that the suspect has a gun, I don't go in after him by myself. He might be waiting for me, trying to ambush me, who knows what. Units are rolling at this time. Since I put it out over the air, all the units are arriving. I set up a quick perimeter around the school. This side over here on Avenue 54, 53, and Irvington. We set up a perimeter. Maybe about a few minutes later, Officer Mark Sanchez sees a suspect jumping the fence, which is directly behind the field house, the PE field. He puts it over the air that he sees a suspect running, matching the description, across the field. He chases the suspect across the field where he barricades himself in the field house with the students that were in there.
Well, the first thing that any officer has to do is coordinate with the administration and make sure that we check for the safety of the children and the employees. That's critical. Without that, we don't have an assessment of what's occurring on or off of the campus. Campus protection in that mode is critical for all of the students, all of the teachers, the administrators, and for that matter, even the parents that may be on campus or coming to the campus to pick up their children.
Sir Rios painted a great word picture for us. He put out a suspicious suspect running from me, he's hiding from me, he's armed with a weapon, he's running across. The minute he asked for backup, let's drop what you're doing, somebody needs some assistance. Everybody started rolling out that way, and that was available.
What happened was I was coming back I was in the field coming back to the station when the broadcast came out that the officer was in foot pursuit of an armed suspect near the campus. All units were responding. I was responding since I was close by, freeway close. Other units responded. A command post was set up.
When I arrived at the CP that was being set up, the command post, and there I was met by Sergeants Castaneda, Sergeant Ornelas, and a couple of other sergeants that were also there.
One of the crucial factors that led to the successful response at Franklin High School was the coordination that took place during the incident between the school police, the administration, the teachers, students, parents, and the outside police agencies like the Los Angeles Police Department. The key ingredient to this coordination is the setting up of a successfully managed command post.
You have so many police units responding to one location, and you have to kind of decipher, okay, where do we have the units and where do we need units? Was one of the things that I noticed as we started setting up the command post.
It was very important to be at the command post to be able to maintain communication between the school police, LAPD, and the rest of the staff. School police and LAPD were giving us direction as to how we're proceeding. I was then disseminating that information and giving directions to my staff as to how to proceed when they were on campus, in order to make sure that everyone was safe, in order to make sure that all teachers knew all the information pertinent, and that we were, again, disseminating information to parents as well, and students.
We cleared the campus, we locked it down, we called LAPD, we called the school police, and the command post was set with Mr. Lopez, our principal.
We set up the command post here on Irvington Place in Holland because it was a safe distance away from the campus, and we could still coordinate our efforts with the responding units to the school. We could get the principal to come out here and any resources we might need from the school and bring them here so that we could make the decisions that we needed to once we were set up.
You have to determine how are we going to provide for the safety of the kids on the campus, the administrators. How are we going to establish egress for the kids when they have to leave class, they have to go home to their parents? What are we going to do for responding parents? Where are we going to place these parents and make sure that they're safe so that they know their kids will be returned to them as quickly as the police department secures the area?
At that time, the watch commander then asked the principal to call a lockdown.
Different emergency situations require different responses. Securing a campus is an action that takes place when there's a threat of violence, or gunfire is identified, or if it's directed by law enforcement or the administration. The objective is for all staff and students to be safely secured in a classroom with the door locked and the blinds closed. We like to say, think like a turtle. The purpose is to prevent a perpetrator from entering areas occupied by students and staff, and to give them the minimum amount of information and profile. The key to successfully securing a campus is for the school to practice a secure campus drill as outlined in their Safe School Plan.
Franklin 2, Ms. Powell.
Go for 2.
Please meet me in the main office.
Copy.
Ms. Powell, we have an emergency situation. We're going to do a lockdown drill or secure campus drill. I'm going to make the announcement to the teachers. Please get the notebook ready for the assignments.
All radio carrying units, please report to the main office for your assignments for our Campus Secure program. Edgar, please get the LAPD and school police phone numbers available in case we need to call in.
We are going to start our Campus Secure drill. All radio personnel, please report to the main office as soon as you can. We are going to start our lockdown in 2 minutes. After the starting bell, please secure your doors. Do not open your doors for anyone. Please, in case of an emergency, please call the main office if you can. We are going to give you further instructions via email. Okay? Thank you for your cooperation. All teachers and staff, please, we are having a lockdown drill or secure campus drill. Please keep all your students in class. Do not let anyone out. In case of an emergency, please call the main office. Make sure to log into your email as soon as possible, and you will get further instructions. Thank you.
Mr. Garcia, I have your assignment here. You are to secure this area, make sure everyone is in a building. Once you have this area secure, please walk this back, minimize radio transmissions as they might trigger a bomb.
Okay, thank you.
And I will check you off once you come back in.
Thank you.
I believe that because we here at Franklin had practiced and had talked about these issues ahead of time and had talked about someone stepping in case there were people that were absent, that it went smoothly and nobody really had questions as to what to do when they were asked to complete a task.
You secure that area, please walk your assignment back. Do not use the radio as it may trigger a bomb. Okay? Mr. Zakowski, 8.
This is the start of fourth period right now? Yes. You have to keep the teachers informed. One of the things that they call, and they want to know what's happening.
And we were taking notes, and they came over the loudspeaker and informed us that we were under lockdown. And so immediately we went and we made sure that all the doors were closed, and we pulled down all the blinds. There are 2 doors in my room, and then there's also a storage room door that I'm responsible for. So we checked all 3 doors, pulled down all the blinds, and then we sat back down and finished taking notes.
Well, we're taking a test, and then we just hear that we couldn't leave our classrooms because we're in a lockdown.
You'll hear all sorts of things from the kids, and for me the most important thing is to keep the kids calm, keep them focused, and make sure that they're comfortable and happy. So if a student is having a major problem, then maybe it's better to stop class and deal with that student individually.
Hey guys, as you just heard, we're going to be on secure campus for a little while. We need to keep the doors and the blinds closed, so even if someone knocks, don't answer the door. Frank, can you go ahead and check the back door for me and make sure it's closed? We're going to keep working though. I'll let you know when I hear something.
They said that the police was outside and that we were in good hands.
Well, a case of this magnitude is what I like to classify as fluid. It's changing from moment to moment. And there's 3 things that any rank officer, from the lieutenant that's in charge of the operation to the deputy chief that may arrive thereafter, but mainly the officer that is the first responder, and that's the 3 C's: command, control, and communicate. The absence of those 3 can lead to disaster in any tactical operation. In this case, the officers performed their duties as they always do, masterfully. They commanded the operation. They allowed those officers who were responding to know who the incident commander was.
I declared myself incident commander, and Sergeant Rick Ornelas became the operations sergeant, and he was in charge of implementing the plan. Sergeant Castaneda was the executive officer, but she also took on duties of, by way of the incident command system, the planning and logistics. So she was in charge of gathering information and identifying the resources so we could put them into play, and also details about the incident.
I then put in place activated the emergency team, the emergency response team, and that's the team that goes around to make sure that all the students are first indoors, that all doors are locked, that everyone's getting the information as needed. That once that's completed, once we secure the location, every location on campus, then those adults are also asked to remain indoors because of police procedures. At that time, then we go exclusively to communicating with through the intercom system, our phones. If teachers have problems or questions or concerns in their classrooms or have issues with students in their classrooms, they call the main office. In the main office, we have someone waiting for those calls and responding to those concerns. We also have someone who speaks Spanish at the station in the main office to receive the phone calls from parents, because immediately after I go to the command center, I call the public information office in the district to inform them of the lockdown. I also call the district office to let them know there is a lockdown and that we may need some additional assistance for the periphery. The district office did send additional personnel, and the public information office then began the communications with the different media outlets to communicate them, to give them updates of the progress of the lockdown, with the hopes that that information is then disseminated to all parents and to all the people in the community, so that they know what is happening and how we're handling.
The Los Angeles School Police Department and Los Angeles Police Department worked in conjunction with this incident. They both responded, and when LAPD, their supervisory personnel responded and saw that we had controlled the situation and knew what we were doing, they were there to provide assistance, any additional assistance that we might need from them. But we had over 30 officers there, more than enough to handle the situation with one gunman on the campus.
Everybody's working toward the same goal. Just keep that in mind for everyone, both officers and administrators. Just remember, it's a team effort, and the wheel turns better when everybody is on the same page, and you know what they're doing, they know what you're doing. Keep the lines of communication open, and ask questions if you don't know what's going on or why a particular thing is going on. Feel free to ask questions, but know that you're a team. It's a team effort, and we have to cooperate with each other and have patience.
I think it was the information and the information that was disseminated prior to the lockdown, the number of drills that we had prior to the lockdown, and also the awareness of the administrative team and the support staff about procedures on lockdown and emergency situations. There were no individuals who were wondering what to do or how to proceed, because we took decisive action and we took decisive steps to make sure that everyone was informed to begin with.
Several of the most important things regarding the success of this operation revolve around the prior training of the personnel, their level of expertise because of the people that they've worked with over the years. Even some of the officers were youthful and hadn't gotten that experience, but they were with other officers who did have. Number two, their communications and their tactical deployment, the way that they commingled with the administration, and they kept the admin advised so that they were not in a position where they didn't know what was occurring within their own campus. And number three, the professionalism demonstrated throughout the deployment and the way that they went from building to building and made certain that no one was put in jeopardy, but at the same time the safety of the school was of paramount importance while we coordinated with other law enforcement agencies. So in a nutshell, it was all working together, as they have so many times before, but cohesively with an incident commander providing direction, making sure that communications were at their minimum, but those communications that were given were paramount in importance. And finally, developing a safety tactical mode that was absolutely starlit. I don't think in this case it could have been any more well performed. I'm very, very proud of the officers, the way that they performed, and the way that they commingled with the school staff, the administrators, and the students.
Turned out great. I mean, suspect was taken into custody. No officers were hurt. Nobody was injured. Nobody was shot. There was no hostages. Everything turned out textbook. And we did recover the handgun.
The successful response of the incident at Franklin High School led to the protection of all the students and staff on campus. Here's what you need to remember in order to assure a similar success story if the need arises on your campus. Review your safe school plan with everyone on campus. Make sure everyone knows their role and responsibilities. Take drills seriously so everyone will have the skills and experience they will need when it counts. Establish good working relationships with your first responders long before any incident. Know the people who are responding and make sure that they know you. Be prepared to be part of a unified command post that has all agencies working together. School principals should be prepared to manage the school's response from the command post no matter where it's located. Effective and continuous communication between all stakeholders, including parents, students, and staff, and first responders is key to ensuring everyone's safety. Have more than one way of communicating with the people you need. Consider using cell phones or email to back up the school radio. Store the important things that you'll need during an emergency where you can get to them in a hurry, such as school maps, keys, and contact lists. And most importantly, staff, students, and responders must remain calm and cooperative throughout the incident. For the Los Angeles School Police Department and the Office of Environmental Health and Safety, I'm Reserve Lieutenant Kent McCord. Remember, it's all for the safety of our staff and our students. Be safe.